tremendous looking trophy.
One number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. My name's Dylan Blight. Joining me as always, Ashley Hobley.
Hi, Dylan. Excited to be here right before I start my new career as a professional Fall Guys player.
Alright. Putting the word out there. Alright. How long have you given yourself? 6 months? Quit the job? See how much you can make?
Like a week. See how
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. See how many of them W's I get.
Absolutely zero. But that's fine. We'll find
Probably.
out. Yeah, probably. Fall Guys.
Probably be back here next week.
Most likely. Also, by the way, I'll mention that now. Fall Guys team. 5 wins
Good
in a row.
work.
For a trophy, eh?
Yeah.
Love it.
They've
Absolutely.
handed you the game. Least you can do is get 5 wins in a row.
Oh, that's the most disgusting trophy I think I've seen in some time. Anyway, this week in the trophy cabinet, stuff that is possible. A bronze trophy for there being a state of play on Friday, and a gold trophy for PS players being good people. But first, let's talk Ghost of Tsushima again. We're both finished the game now, so we can give our overall final thoughts, spoiler free. Won't spend that much time on it, but I got my review up now, exposurenetwork.com. I gave the game a 7.5. I think it's a really pretty game. It's weird to say because if I was to describe it, I would call it pretty, but at the same time, I feel like the character models are quite janky at times. But it's just because the style of the game, like it nails its art direction to a dime, to the point that it overshadows any character model jankiness at times and these sorts of things. I enjoyed playing the game for the most part. I think the stealth is absolutely not the way to play the game, which is weird because obviously that's the direction the game pushes you the further you get further in the storyline to being the ghost. But the stealth stuff is just the most bare bones stealth stuff I've played in a game in some time, which is once again just so odd given that's the direction the game kind of wants you to go. It feels like it should have had more effort put into it. And then ultimately, by the time I reached the conclusion of the story, amazing final couple of missions that lead towards the end of Jin's story for this game. I don't think it's a spoiler to say, obviously, it's left open for a sequel. Who'd have thought that a Sony AAA game would be set up for a potential sequel? Come on. There's a sequel. Here's no spoilers. We're going to do a spoiler cast. So we'll talk about it more when we do a spoiler cast. But I do have problems with the ending, including decision. So there's like 2 endings to the game. That's kind of annoying me. And I don't know. What are your final thoughts? I don't think I have anything until we get into like spoiler cast territory.
I clearly enjoyed it much more than you. It's probably my game of the year at the moment. I think it's way more emotional than I probably was expecting it to be. It has some of the most emotional moments of the year, in my opinion. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it doesn't help that you played it wrong.
How'd I play it wrong?
You didn't embrace all aspects of the game, I don't think. You're too focused on trying to role play it a certain way. That was
what, because I didn't like all the haikus and stuff?
No, that you didn't want to do any of the ghost stuff.
It's not that I
Trying
didn't
to be honorable the entire time.
It's not that I didn't want to do the ghost stuff. The game just didn't make me want to do it at all because it wasn't fun. The stealth wasn't fun.
Well,
Why do I want to do it? The combat's fun. So I'll do that. The stealth, not very fun. So I don't want to do it.
My opinion is very satisfying to take somebody out with a bunch of arrows or assassinate like 3 guys in a row. That was satisfying to me.
I feel like when it comes down to it, I've played other stuff that's making me dislike the stealth more, and you haven't played the things that are making me dislike the stealth more.
I feel like that's the thing. I feel like obviously this game picks from a bunch of different things, and maybe obviously they didn't pick enough stealth stuff to satisfy stealth heavy players. You know, sorry, Jin doesn't move bodies around.
That'd be a start.
Sorry, the Mongols are not the smartest guys in the world.
Yeah, well, that's just one problem. I think. Look, I did give it 7.5. It's not like I dislike the game. I have a bunch of nitpicky issues alongside some major gripes. I would say overall, to sum up how I feel, is it's a really pretty game that I enjoyed playing for the most part. However, some of the core things inside it, the stealth doesn't do very well, and I don't think its mission structure is overly exciting, and its overall design, including the open world design alongside its mission design, feels like it's copying off Ubisoft games from 2012, like Assassin's Creed games from 2012. That's what its mission design is, especially when you're doing these missions where it's literally just don't be seen, follow behind type stuff, which aren't hard because there's heaps of grass to hide in and whatever. But I haven't done those since I've played an Assassin's Creed game like 6 years ago.
There's only like 3 or 4 of those in the entire game, though.
There's a couple more if you do the side missions on top of the
I don't think so.
Main quest stuff.
Not many, anyway.
Those, along with most missions, just boil down to ride on horse to location, kill people, maybe ride to another location on horse, kill people.
But that's a very samurai thing, you know.
It's a very samurai thing.
You know, a samurai comes into town. Oh no, these bandits have attacked the town. The samurai goes and deals with them.
Yeah, I could. There's one. I don't think I can say about sport. There's one character's side missions in the towards the end of the second act. An older lady. Hers, they could have used more of in side mission stuff because hers don't involve. Again, they chuck in random combat, and I'm like, why? I feel like, again, that's just to gamify stuff that they feel might bore certain people. But I feel like her missions could have just been completely combatless, just storytelling missions, and I would have really enjoyed them. I did enjoy hers, but again, it feels weird when there's randomly halfway through the mission, they're like, oh, there's enemies here now. I'm like, but why? Like, we could have just ignored them.
To let you use the thing that you just unlocked, 2, because the world is overrun by Mongols everywhere.
Yeah, I know, but it feels very forced in that in that moment, particularly, I thought. Anyway, Ghost of Tsushima, 7.5 means I hate it, and you can look forward to more. We'll hopefully get a spoiler cast up in the next week. I think Kieran's nearly towards.
Tweet at your boy Ringo.
Yeah, and then we'll do that. Then we can discuss the ending. On top of the Ghost stuff, there are some stats that have been posted which were interesting. So PlayStation shared a bunch of these stats, and I don't know which ones stand out the most, but like to me, 15.5 million photos taken. So that is a lot of photos. 37.5 million Inari shines honored. Only 8.8 million fox petted. So like when you think about the fact that the highest number here is you got 156.4 million standoffs initiated, or even the 15.5 million photos taken. Really disappointing that only 8.8 million foxes have been petted. That's really low.
When it's 37.5 million Inari shrines, which the foxes lead you to.
Yeah, so it's
say half of them let you pet their fox.
Most of them, all of them do, don't they?
No, not all of them.
Sometimes the fox isn't right there, and if you walk, like it's usually if you listen, you can hear it, and it's like standing somewhere close by.
I hope that's not true.
Some? Yeah, you missed some. I think there was one where it was like standing around the corner of the like little thing. You can hear it going meow, meow, whatever freaking sound it makes.
But yeah, even then, it's like that would be like 20 million times people have potentially pet the foxes and didn't. If you're
Also-
one of those monsters who didn't pet a fox the entire game, you're missing out.
Also,
Sure, the animation's this exact same every single time, but
you got 15.5 million photo taken, but only 14.2 million haikus composed. So a majority of players aren't even initiating a single haiku in the game. You know what I mean? What's up with that? Lower than photos taken. Not even a single haiku. Some people must have done. That's weird.
Well, I'm sure they did some haikus because they're part of the missions.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That is weird. That's just so low, though. I feel like it would be a lot higher. Nonetheless,
maybe people just hate poetry.
Maybe.
It's divisive.
Divisive. Poetry's divisive.
Yep. Some people get bad memories of like their English lessons, being told that they're definitely not a poet.
Oh.
And the teacher does know it.
Wow. Alright, I only got a couple of news stories to run through this week. The first one, Spider-Man is coming to Marvel's Avengers, but it will be exclusive. So IGN writes, PlayStation has confirmed that Spider-Man will be coming to Marvel's Avengers as a free PlayStation exclusive. Spider-Man will be released post-launch, so he won't be available when Marvel's Avengers is released on September 4th. In a new PlayStation blog post, Marvel's Avengers confirmed that Spider-Man will be added to the playable roster in early 2021 at no additional cost. Originally, this was leaked as part of a retail listing, seeming to indicate that Spider-Man would be exclusive DLC character for the game. And then it appears that Sony has had to come in and confirm because of the leaks. Let's.
But do you know what my favorite bit of the story is? So the retailer apparently had this information up on their page for a year.
Really?
Nobody noticed. Yeah.
Wow, that's something. I mean, yeah. Oh, that's weird. Hey.
And it was just a misunderstanding. It wasn't actually a leak. It was like they just put that information up there and it ended up being true.
Wow. So, are you excited to play Spider-Man? Question A. Question B. Do you think it's actually a good? Do you think it's going to piss a lot of people off that Spider-Man?
Start with B. Yes, it's going to piss a lot of people off. I've already been on Twitter. Okay. A lot of people are upset. B, obviously, a lot of Xbox and PC people want to play Spider-Man. They're not going to be allowed to. Am I excited for Spider-Man in Marvel's Avengers? Yes. The more I see in Marvel Avengers, the more optimistic I become. And, I guess it'll be interesting to see how Spider-Man plays in that world with that control scheme. Obviously being quite different to how he plays in Spider-Man.
Well, it could be quite similar because of all the characters I played in that demo at PAX, the Golden Gate Bridge one, they all play rather differently.
Yeah, but he's not going to just be able to swing away and then disappear in another section of town.
No, but you still might be able to initiate swinging. Like, I don't know how open the... It'd be weird if Spider-Man doesn't have swinging. You might get invisible walled when you try to escape the level, but it would be weird to have a Spider-Man in a game that can't just initiate swinging around whenever he so pleases.
I can't imagine he'll play the exact same way that he will in the game in the Sony's Marvel Spider-Man.
Yeah. It's getting confusing. It's also going to be interesting because it's funny. A big part of this game is obviously they're adding all the costumes and stuff for all the characters, and they're like, oh, that's where they're going to get all your microtransactions or whatever is probably buying costumes and stuff. But Spider-Man's already had a plethora of costumes released for free in Marvel's Spider-Man. So, opposite ends of the way to release costumes for Marvel characters.
Maybe if you've got Marvel Spider-Man in your trophy, you unlock all the
imagine
all the suits that you unlocked in the game.
Yeah, you can choose to believe that if you if you'd like to choose to avoid that.
Do that, and then, eventually you unlock him down the line to all the Xbox players, and they have to buy all the costumes.
I think it's a bit stupid he's exclusive.
It's an odd decision, but probably a smart one for PlayStation.
It is.
I assume PlayStation paid money to hey,
yeah,
let's keep Spider-Man exclusive.
Yeah,
on these multi-platform games to.
Because because Sony's whenever those that Ultimate Alliance ripoff thing or whatever, that had Spider-Man, that was on other things, right?
Yeah, but that was only on Nintendo Switch.
So that's what they allow. It's Xbox that's the problem.
I guess so. Yeah,
the PS. Yeah, that would actually make sense. I guess Xbox is the problem here, not PC, because Horizon's out this week or whatever on PC. So it's the Xbox problem for this. Yeah, I don't think it's a bit stupid to have exclusive character though. I think obviously it'll probably work out for them because now some people are probably just going to buy it on PlayStation to get Spider-Man because everyone loves Spider-Man. But at the same time, I feel like just could have played nice with this one. I don't know, had a bunch of exclusive costumes instead or something.
It's nothing new. I mean,
that's not nothing new. It's just for this one, I'm like, it's called Marvel's Avengers, and one of the characters is already gate locked behind a console. I'm like,
listen, Spider-Man has only been Avenger for the last 10 years, so
only the last 10 years.
I think so. When was Brian Bendis' run?
I don't know. But either way, it's my point stands. The game's called Marvel's Avengers, and there's a gate lock character on a console. If the game was called Captain America, also has some other Marvel characters in it, and a gate lock Spider-Man, I would have been like, all right, I guess.
Makes sense.
But it's just because it's an Avengers game, and one's locked behind the console. I'm a bit like, well, that's a bit shit. I'm just trying to play good guy Dylan over here for the Xbox people. I look after you Xbox people too.
Do you think those Xbox people are listening to this podcast?
I don't know. Who knows? Who knows who listens to this shit? This is my favorite story. So what made this story so funny is I actually randomly talked about this literally days before it happened. So Eurogamer writes, 5 years on, Metal Gear Solid 5's secret nuclear disarmament cutscene has finally been unlocked. Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain's nuclear disarmament cutscene has been unlocked legitimately, which is because they did I don't know if it says in the article here, I forgot if it does or not. But it does here. This cutscene had been unlocked before. It was found hidden in the game around the time of a release on PC. It was unlocked by accident in February 2018 on PC, prompting an apology from publisher Konami. And I refused to watch the cutscene when it got leaked, and I only watched it when it happened the other day. Because I was like, this isn't fair.
This is their reward for
this is yeah. So it's. Half a decade on, fans seem to have achieved a global tally of 0 nukes on the game on PS3 only, which unlocks the hidden cutscene showing a celebration attended by Snake and his pals. So this was something that was, when the game came out, sort of nonsense that no one believed would ever happen. So it was like, there was all these rumors that there was a cutscene, a secret ending to the game, but the only way to get the secret ending was for everyone in the game to destroy their nukes. And then if the global tally of nukes got to 0, then it would unlock the secret cutscene or whatever. And then I remember thinking, that's crazy. There's no way that can be real. But then, of course, it got leaked on PC. And I was like, I kind of don't want to watch it, especially because I probably would have watched it if I'd seen more hype for it. But from the general consensus I read in the comments of people being like, oh, like, it was more like, oh, it's cool, but there's nothing mind-blowing. So I remember thinking, oh, I'll wait to see if anyone does it. And then I kind of forgot about it until now. But what was so funny is that literally like a couple days before this happened, my brother was must have been shopping on the PlayStation store, and I suddenly get a bunch of messages. What is this game? What is this game? What is this game? I was trying to sniff out which ones he may like and or buy. He ended up buying the fucking Crash Bandicoot collection. Anyway, he asked, what is Metal Gear Solid 5? Firstly, he asked, what is Death Stranding? And I was like, how long have you got?
ExplosionNetwork.com.
I was like, how many hours have you got? But then we ended up on what is Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain, because that was on sale as well. And I remember I was like, oh, fucking blah, 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 blah. And then I ended up explaining how there was a secret cutscene in the game no one had locked because no one would fucking destroy all the nukes. And I was using this as the example of just how weird and wacky Kojima always is. I'm like, oh, only this guy would stick a secret cutscene behind destroying a bunch of nukes in the game. That's absolutely crazy. I was like, it's not happened. No one's done it. I was like, it's probably never going to happen because humans are shit and they even refuse to destroy their nukes in a fucking video game. And then a couple of days later, I see this story. I'm like, well, that's funny. It is the thing though is that the PS3 player base managed to do it, and obviously a big part of this is that the PS3 player base is so small now that it seems that the remaining people playing the game were able to kind of coordinate on Reddit or some shit like that to manage to work together to destroy all the nukes in the game or whatever and get this secret cutscene legitimately. I think it said the PC one still has like several thousand nukes. The PS4 version of the game still has several thousand nukes. Like this. I don't know if those games will ever get there, but I thought this was pretty cool that it's taken this long since the game came out. Like we're waiting for the release date of the PS5. And they're just like, oh, we finally unlocked a secret cutscene on a PS3 release of the of the game. It's the most Kojima-esque fucking thing ever. I don't think there's anything.
The kind of crazy thing is that game got released on PS3.
Yeah, it is.
It's like 2 years after the PS4 launched.
Was it?
Sure, you said it was 5 years. It's been 5 years. So
yeah. Well, I think it was because one of those things where he kept delaying it. So, and Ground Zeroes, I think that was what it was called. The prologue thing that came out in PS3 and PS4 at the same time, but that was a lot closer at launch, I think. And then by the time Phantom Pain came out, of course, they owed it to put the game on the old consoles.
Version. Yeah. I mean, I wonder how long you have to have not played the game before your nukes.
I don't know. I'm assuming there is an eventual timeout on certain player base,
which I'm sure it was a major factor in why I was able to.
Yeah. I assume so. But I also don't know if the game, maybe like randomly makes nukes, and maybe I don't know. It's rather confusing. But it's just like the most Kojima-esque bullshit thing that you could see. I love it. It's so funny. It's
precursor.
It's very
precursor to Death Stranding. Also, apparently, according to this Nuke Watcher thing, the number of nukes on PS3 has gone back up to 54. So
pieces of shit.
There's just no way to stop the nuclear apocalypse.
Yeah, it's coming either way. It's weird that Death Stranding doesn't actually have a more
connected,
crazy connected secret thing, unless something that no one's found it yet. But given how connected that game is and involves player input,
if they're gonna find something, they'll find it now that it's on PC and they can pull it apart.
Yeah, that's true. Because whenever I think Kojima is just known for wacky stuff, even back on PS1.
Maybe everybody's version of Death Stranding has a slight pixel of his penis. Maybe. And then when you put them all together,
you get a Norman Reedus cock. But you never played the Metal Gear Solid games.
No.
Do you know the PS1 thing about the where you have to switch the controllers?
Yes.
Yeah. In case anyone somehow doesn't know, there's a boss fight in the original Metal Gear Solid where your character starts getting mind controlled, and to fight back, you have to literally take the PS1 controller out of port 1 and put it in port 2 so you can control your character again. So whenever I think of that Kojima, I just think about that, and that's I expect some bullshit. I expect some bullshit, So PlayStation to Monday night or whatever, on the PlayStation blog, put up a listing explaining what accessories and stuff would work and would not work with the PlayStation 5. So they say especially peripherals such as officially licensed racing wheels, arcade sticks, and flight sticks will work with the PS5 games and supported PS4 games.
There you go, Nick.
Yes. He's not playing.
Do PS3 things carry across though?
I'm going to answer that one for you and say no.
Sorry, Nick.
No. Yeah. The Platinum and Gold Blast headsets, as well as third-party headsets that connect via USB port or audio jack, will work on the PS5. The headset companion app is not compatible with the PS5, though. I have no idea what that app is or what it
There
does.
is some sort of app that does slight audio changes.
Okay. For the Gold and Platinum headsets.
Yes, what's the word?
I don't know. What is the word?
Bird
is the bird. Bird is the word. The bird is the word. The DualShock 4 wireless controller and the PlayStation officially licensed third-party gamepad controllers will work with supported PS4 games. Both the PS Move controllers and the PlayStation VR aim controller will work with supported PSVR games on PS5. Please note that all PlayStation officially licensed or third-party peripherals accessories may not work on PS5. We recommend checking with the manufacturer to confirm whether or not a product will work on PS5 and specific titles. Key questions they put in here that everyone's sort of angry or not angry about today are: will DualShock 4 work with PS5 games? They said no. We believe that PS5 games should take advantage of the new capabilities and features we're bringing to the platform, including the features of DualSense wireless controller. And then is the PlayStation camera for PS4 compatible with the PS5? Yes, the PlayStation camera will work with the PS5 for playing supported PSVR games. It will require a PlayStation camera adapter that will be provided at no additional cost to PSVR users. More details on how to get an adapter will be announced at a later date. So, of course, the main breakout is that the DualShock 4 will not work on PS5 games. It's the key takeaway from this. But other than that, it seems anything that most people should care about seems will work. Like the key things that people are wondering about, like racing wheels and that sort of stuff, they said they will work on supported PS4 games. I think
and PS5 games. That's more important.
Yeah, PS5 and PS4 games. So they will all work. So like if you picked up this is one of the key reasons that I remember seeing I remember thinking about buying a racing wheel like a year and a half, nearly 2 years ago. I was nearly gonna buy one and give it a go, but because we knew the PS5 was probably coming in the next like year and a half, maybe 2 years type thing. I know that was a long time, but I was still just like, this is like this thing costs like $300. I don't want to buy it now and then have it be useless. So, but now the answer is that it would still work.
Listen, go buy one now so you're ready for when Gran Turismo comes out.
That's true. That's the exact reason I need one. And then I think confirming the PlayStation camera works was a given because we knew that PSVR would connect to your PlayStation 5 in some way or fashion. The DualShock 4 not working with PS5 games, I don't care. I think their reasoning makes perfect sense. It's a new console, you get a new controller. I mean, am I just old school? Am I just like, it's a new console, I get a new controller, only the new controller works with the new console? Am I just like...
Listen, people still upset the GameCube controller doesn't work on everything. So.
This is true, yeah. Yeah. That's a good point.
Why doesn't my GameCube controller work on
the Nintendo Switch or the
Here's the question. Will Nick be able to figure out a way to use his Xbox Elite controller?
I still kept waiting for them to patch in a PlayStation 4 update that would make that stupid thing stop working, because I kept waiting for it. Because as soon as
spy people,
because as soon as he's like, buy this third-party adapter, it lets you use your Xbox controller. I'm like, surely Sony's going to patch that. Like,
Sony's not the bad guy. Sure, they occasionally get some characters exclusive, but they let you use your Xbox controllers on PS4.
Yeah, I
for most
I,
games.
I highly doubt that's going to work. That mixed stupid adapter thing is going to work on a PS5. But
Because it won't have that awesome haptic feedback that will be so crucial to all PS5 games going forward.
That's true. At least I know. I think confirming that the DualShock 4 work if you're playing PS4 games is at least good, because then if I'm putting in my copy of what's coming out that I said I was going to play on PS5 when it's out in PS5, there's something I can't remember. But there's a bunch of games.
Bugsnax.
Yeah, but no, that's a PS5 game as well. It's a PS5 game. Anyway, if I'm plugging in something, at least I know that like if my PS5, my one DualSense, because I'm not going to buy a second one until I see a sale or a cool color or something, presumably. But at least I know that if that controller's flat, that I can use my DualShocks to play a PS4 game if I want to do something like that.
Or just move around the menu, like.
Yeah, that I guess.
Just let me use it to watch Netflix.
Does the PS5 even have a menu? Ooh, there's a. Yeah, what's going on there? We don't even know. It doesn't even have a menu. It's all pixels and you speak to it only.
Yeah. Okay, PlayStation. Start up.
Start thing. Yes.
Spider-Man,
Miles Morales. Okay, PlayStation. So yeah, that'd be a fucking nightmare if that was the thing.
Yeah.
So we're getting a state of play
because the Kinect did so well.
Yeah, it did. That was a 360 thing, by the way, in case just to point out how old that is. So State of Play is happening on this coming Friday at 6 a.m. Australian time. The episode weighing in at roughly 40 plus minutes will showcase plenty of new gameplay footage and other game updates. Just to be clear, there will be no PlayStation Studio updates in it. There will only be updates for PS4 games and indie games and follow-ups on stuff that they showed off in the June showcase. There'll be nothing to do with the PS5, business, pre-orders, or dates, blah, 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 blah. So I'm of two minds of this.
But is it though?
They said it. They're not going to say that it's not going to show PS5 stuff and then show PS5 stuff. That's that when they tweet this out.
But listen, one more thing.
No. What's the one more thing?
God of War 2.
What? Explain. All right, Ash. Let me. Since you reckon you're so smart, explain to me why you would set everyone's expectations that it's only a PS4 show, so then the people who don't care about PS4 don't watch it, and then announce God of War 2 at the end as only one more thing.
So you blow all the people's minds who were watching the thing.
No.
Get everybody hyped.
No, they're gonna have to do a second one. So so this is August. We've got to get the PS5 release date this month. We've got to get the PS5 price this month. We also have to get the Xbox price and date.
Do we though?
Yes, we do. This month is the month, or else they're kind of fucking over. They're fucking over not only consumers at this point, but they're also fucking over retailers who would want to know the release dates and start their own pre-orders and get materials, like start promoting that thing or whatever else.
I mean, that's assuming it's coming out in November or December.
It's coming out this year. Right. So they got State of Play this Friday morning, 40 minutes stuff. They said it's going to include PSVR stuff, so that's cool, because I think, obviously, I feel like if you own a PSVR headset, once Iron Man came out, it was like, okay, what's next? And the answer is, don't know. So hopefully this State of Play will help answer that, because currently there is absolutely nothing exciting coming up for VR, especially not on a first party, second party type front from PlayStation. Iron Man was the end of that, so that's cool. I don't know what the fuck they're really going to announce and show for PS4 exclusively. I feel like maybe we're going to get a lot of indie games that will just be on PS5 anyway. So then it's just like, but then...
Well, technically all these PS4 games you'll be able to play on your PS5, so...
That's true. But I mean, like, they might have another bug snacks thing. They said that if they show more bug snacks, and it's like, okay, well, that is a PS4 and a PS5 game. But if it was only a PS4 game, it could still a PS5 game. It's get very confusing. 40 minutes is a very long time for this. I'm excited. My only thing is that I I feel like they should have done this last month, because now that we're in August, I feel like everyone's just at the end of the line of patience for wanting a price, wanting a release date, wanting all these sorts of things. And I think putting this out here is just going to piss off a whole bunch of people who just want that. So I this would have been better.
What if there one more thing is this is when we're going to announce?
Yeah, if there one more thing is the date of a PS5 state of play, then sure. But I feel like they needed to have just said that when this happened, though. They should have just been like, look, we've got a 40-minute state of play this week focused on PSVR, PS4 indie games, blah, 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 blah. But we have our PS5 one coming up on whatever, next week. Something along those lines. That's all I say. Because to follow on to this, so PlayStation Lifestyle writes, the PS5 is probably less than 4 months away, and with Sony's path to release more or less clear, we're all eagerly awaiting the information about the console. One new rumor indicates that we're getting a look at the PS5 user interface within the next few weeks. Industry insider Timecodes says that the Sony will soon issue a PS5 dev kit update that will allow developers to enable retail mode on the consoles, essentially allowing them to see how the game will look and interact with the final retail setup of the next-gen console. He expects Sony to show off the PS5 UI before the update happens to get out ahead of any potential leaks stemming from devs having access to the retail mode. According to Timecodes, the current PS5 dev kits only feature debug and PS4 retail mode, which I assume just mimics the PS4's retail layout in the absence of PS5's UI. Timecodes' credibility as an insider has been hit and miss before, so take this with a grain of salt, of course, but I would believe that to be true, because that seems like something that would make sense to be happening around now, around soon, around the time of writing, recording. So if that is true, then yeah, they need to they need to get out ahead of the leaks. And we've previously talked about the fact that they were supposed to start production end of like around now, if not by now. They were supposed to have started production on the fucking things, and that that doing production, they was worried about the leaks of the console design and whatever else. So that's why they got the console out. But they didn't show anything more than that. So they got the console out the door, so the console didn't leak. So now the console's out there. So now they're going to turn on the UI for a bunch of developers. That makes sense. So now they need to get out ahead of that. They need to show the UI. Do they ever need to announce a price technically for this thing? No, they can just sell it to us for question mark, apparently, because Sony and Xbox are playing a game of fucking chicken that's boring as fuck to watch at this point. Like, it's like being a part of a game that you really just did not want to be part of. They're happy to fuck with each other all day. I'm just like, just give me the prices. That's all I want. I don't care about it.
No rush.
No rush? You don't want a price? You don't know how much you have to spend on the PS5? Don't want to know what date it comes out?
It's going to be a big number. So why can we put that off the bit?
That's the reason you don't care. You just don't want to know how much.
Oh, God.
Are you keen for a state of play that's not PS5 related? Or are you just like, I don't care?
It'll be interesting because obviously I've got no idea what's potentially in there. You would think there would be some third-party stuff. But yeah, or, maybe some announcements of the PlayStation 4 DLC.
Like what?
Like Last of Us multiplayer.
Imagine.
Although they just said no big PlayStation Studios.
Yeah,
the PlayStation Studios doesn't start till...
Yeah, well, they've been real nitpicky with the...
yeah, but we'll see. I mean, it'll be... I don't think there'll be anything massive. Hopefully it's new indie stuff that we haven't seen in the plethora of indie showcases so far this E3. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Hopefully some good VR stuff.
That's the main thing I want, some VR stuff, I feel. Because like, VR's coming to PS5 as well, so,
Yeah.
Like, technically that's still stuff I could care about. If if they're announcing like some second party PS4 exclusive game, I'm going to be like, look, don't know if I care at this stage anymore. All right, so State of Play Friday morning. Look out for more on that, of course. Might do a thing, a bonus episode, depending on if it's worth doing a bonus episode or not. Although 40 minutes, I would fucking hope so. But I've been shot in the foot before, so we shall find out. Either way, ExplosionNetwork.com, have all the things. That'll do it for this week's episode. There wasn't really much to talk about. There wasn't much happening. It's all happening later in the week. So we moved the release date of the podcast. Still constantly get fucked. Constantly getting fucked, but that's fine. You can follow us on Twitter by heading to explosionnetwork.com/Twitter. You can suggest topics or send in questions for the show by emailing mail@explosionnetwork.com with the subject line Platinum Explosion. And until next week, remember that every trophy counts except for that one Fall Guys one, because fuck that, what the fuck you. Okay, bye, thank you. Hey, don't forget you can subscribe to the show wherever you're currently listening, and you can drop a review if you can. Find more great shows like this and more content over at explosionnetwork.com, and please consider supporting us for as little as $1 over on our Ko-fi page by heading to explosionnetwork.com/support. Thanks for listening.